to me, reaffirms the poor state of the MCU. You can hear in my voice. This is sad, guys. This is not good. Welcome back to Movies Are So Back, the YouTube movie review channel where I, Ethan Simmie, ask the question, are movies so back? This past weekend saw Deadpool and Wolverine take over the world? I mean, basically, I don't know if there's any lighter way to put it. The movie made over $435 million globally, became the 6th highest opening weekend for a comic book movie ever, the single highest opening weekend for an R-rated film ever, and the 8th biggest domestic opening weekend for a movie ever. And it did all of this while being the 2nd highest MCU audience score on Rotten Tomatoes ever at 97%. People are really loving Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm happy for those people, genuinely. If you love Deadpool and Wolverine, if you think it is among some of the best content that Marvel has put out as of late, I'm happy for you. You enjoy your stuff. But that's not me. It couldn't be me, and it isn't me. I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was not a very good movie, kind of at all. Now, I didn't actively dislike the movie. I just didn't like it, kind of by any means at all. I don't really want to get involved in all of the Marvel conversation and discourse surrounding Deadpool and Wolverine. I think it is extremely toxic and tiring and exhausting, and quite frankly, pretty dumb. But here are the things that I thought were good about the movie and the things that I thought were not so good. So the good, it made me realize how great of a movie Logan is. Now, I saw Logan for the very first time just a couple of days before going to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I had heard that it was mandatory homework. I'd been putting it off and off and off, and I finally got around to it. And I will say, even though I'm slightly lower on the movie than the mass majority, I thought Logan was very good, especially the final 20 to 30 minutes of that story is excellent stuff. Logan is a great movie. Deadpool and Wolverine made me realize how good of a movie it is and how much juice Hugh Jackman actually has as Wolverine. He's very good in that role, and he plays the emotional beats superbly. And every emotional beat that we get with Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine, which I think is like one, maybe, worked very, very well. Now, on the other hand, it made me realize how bad of an actor Ryan Reynolds is, but I'm going to save that for the bad. I do have one more good thing that I want to mention. And that one more good thing that I want to mention is Tom Wankam's Matthew Macfadyen showing up, crushing every single scene that he is in. He is, without a doubt, the highlight of this movie for me. I thought he was really good, actually, in the TVA and in the Marvel universe, and I thought they let him do what he does best and be Tom, which, you know, I shout out. I'm going to watch Succession again now. So good job, Deadpool and Wolverine. You made me fall in love with Succession even more, which I didn't know was possible. Now the bad, kind of everything else. Like I said, Ryan Reynolds, he's a bad actor, guys. He's not good. And he has a pretty atrocious filmography to back up that statement. He is undoubtedly the only person probably that could play Deadpool in the world, and more power to him and more power to people that like him as Deadpool. But he's insufferable, and he is a bad actor, and he's not funny, and I don't vibe with him kind of on any level whatsoever. So the fact that I had to sit through 2+ hours of Deadpool ripping jokes that just don't land for me whatsoever was tough, to say the least. His jokes get really tired really fast. He loses his charisma pretty quickly into the film, and I genuinely think that Deadpool and Wolverine and introducing Deadpool into the MCU sets a pretty dangerous precedent for the comedy that we're going to see in the MCU moving forward, which I already think is at a pretty much a rock bottom. Now, outside of the acting, I don't think that Sean Levy has the juice to direct good action sequences. And I know you're going to say, Ethan, he's directed action movies in the past, and I know. And I don't think they're very good. I just don't think that he has a unique ability to capture, especially the abilities that Deadpool and Wolverine bring to the screen. I just thought it lacked kind of ingenuity and spice and energy, and it just fell really flat for me, kind of in almost every action sequence, which is a bad thing when your movie really revolves around heavy, blood-laden action sequences. The CGI is pretty tough to stomach at some points. The narrative is exceptionally thin and relies on countless cameos. And the state of the MCU is just in a pretty poor place, really a state of disrepair because of these things. So overall, I didn't think Deadpool and Wolverine was very good. I don't think it's going to age very well whatsoever. I don't have it ranked very highly in my big master MCU ranking list. And I don't see myself revisiting this movie at any point in the future whatsoever. Now, as for the state of the MCU, Marvel's Hall H panel at the San Diego Comic-Con just happened, and it was announced that Robert Downey Jr. will be returning in Avengers Doomsday as Victor Von Doom, a movie that is coming out in May of 2026 that will be directed by the Russo brothers. That is a real sentence that I just said in a real movie review that is real. It's happening. That is happening, people. And I think it is bad. I think it is very, very bad. I think it is very unfortunate. And it just, to me, reaffirms the poor state of the MCU. You can hear in my voice, this is sad, guys. This is not good. I really think kind of everything about this is terrible. Now, I'm sure he'll be playing some sort of Iron Man variant that is, from what I have heard, rather comic book accurate and does happen. And I do think that there are potential moments that are going to be very good, potential emotionally hard-hitting storylines that will involve our heroes seeing someone that they knew saved the universe now trying to take down the universe. I think there's a lot of good stuff to explore there. So I'm not being completely negative. But outside of that very slim possibility that I genuinely don't think Marvel has the chops to execute on, I think it's very bad, and I think it is a bad state for the MCU to call back to Robert Downey Jr., to get him back into the slate, into the fold, to call back to the Russo brothers and say, you're the only people that can do this, even though you've never made a good movie outside of the MCU, we still want you back. That's a whole different conversation. I just think kind of everything about this, Marvel got wrong. It further degrades the impact of characters and character arcs within the MCU, kind of turns the entire universe into a big melting pot of like, it's the multiverse and characters don't matter and we can just do whatever we want and bring whoever we want back all the time, which I don't like. I'm not a fan of. It seems pretty inconsequential. So this announcement I don't think is good, and I'm not excited kind of whatsoever for what this future holds for Marvel. So, are movies so back? I don't really think they've ever been less back, to be honest. And I know that comes across as really negative, and I don't want to be that guy. I want to get on here and be positive and say, like, movies are awesome. Movies rock. I love movies. That's why I have this YouTube channel. That's why I love movies so much. But right now, movies are not back, and it genuinely feels like they might not ever get back to where we want them to be. The MCU is not looking great. It's looking pretty grim moving forward. But on August 16th, we are getting the nationwide release of one of the best movies of the year in Dee. So if we can just hang on until then, movies might indeed be so back. We'll see.